Marion is following part of the line this morning. Earlier she was at Stoneleigh Park, where the line will cut through. Marion, where are you now?
I'm at the home of Richard and Jan Kenyon in Kenilworth, and if it goes ahead, this line, whichever one goes ahead, will go just past the very front door, won't they? Good morning, Jan.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Richard. So, real concerns for you guys then?
Oh, of course. It will completely change our lives. It will be almost impossible to live here with the noise. We can hear a golf ball struck on the golf course now. Imagine what it will be like with a railway that's even closer.
You can actually hear a golf ball?
Yes, we can hear a golf ball from our bed. So therefore, the noise of 95 decibels is just life-changing totally, and we will not be able to live here. And if you think of the railway coming at 250 miles an hour between London and Birmingham, and non-stop, not one person can benefit from this train, and it is ruining our countryside, it is ruining our lives, it is our nest egg, it is our pension, and the line is ruining everybody's lives from London to Birmingham, and it is a disastrous waste of money that the government is spending when there is no free money at all, and we cannot understand why this whole scenario is going ahead.
Now, in terms of this home, this has been home for a very long time for you, hasn't it?
My parents came in 1940 to get away from the Coventry Blitz. We have lived here for 70 years. My mum still lives here, and the house is our lifetime's savings.
Okay, now Richard, you were trying to point out to me exactly where the line would go. Remind me again then. So we've stood outside the front door at the moment. We've got a lovely grassed area in front of us, but there's also one behind us.
There's an even bigger grassed area in front of us, and so the house from the main windows looks out over the garden and then over a field, and about 150 yards away at the other side of the field we shall have this new railway line.
So that close to your home?
It's as close as that, yes.
Okay, so every window, you'd be able to see this from every window?
From every window on that side of the house, we would be able to see it, yes.
All right, we'll speak more in a moment. Joe Elliott, good morning.
Morning, Marion.
Now, we've spoken before to you about this, because some people say, well, actually, it's good for Coventry. Is it good for Coventry?
No, it's definitely not good for Coventry. It's definitely not good for Warwickshire. It's a disaster. You've been hearing all morning about the business case, which is completely flawed. Environmentally, it's just not doing what they say it will. And for Coventry and for Warwickshire, it is just a no-brainer, because it will zoom straight past. It will not stop at Coventry. It will stop. If you want to go to the new station, it'll take you a lot longer than going from the one train that remains from Coventry. We've got to stop this, and the only way that we can stop it is by everybody getting behind it in Coventry and Warwickshire, and talking to your MPs, talking to the powers that be, and making sure that the government don't spend this sort of money that they have not got and will not have in the future. If we believe all that they're saying, we've just got to stop it, because it's the wrong way to spend money, and it's no good for this area. Just get behind it and stop it.
Project of this size, though, Joe, surely, though, it will create some jobs. Well, they're much needed round here, aren't they?
I'm not convinced that it will. I don't think it will. I think it'll take jobs away from Coventry, because 3 trains an hour to Coventry Station, with all the new development that's going to happen in Coventry, I think it will be detrimental to that. So we've got to stop this railway.
You're going to London yourself today. You convinced that this argument can win?
I am convinced that we can win, but it needs a lot of people behind it, and I'm glad to see that most of the MPs are going today, although I see that Jeremy Wright's name is not on the list, which surprises me. Yeah, we've got a lot of support. Coventry MPs are going as well. We can all see where the problems are, and we need the people of Coventry and the people of Warwickshire to get behind this campaign to stop it.
Final word from Jan and from Richard. Jan, what's your message to anyone who's listening to this?
My message is, please, 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 go out and fight this high-speed rail HS2. It is something that should not be going ahead.
I entirely agree. I think everybody who has any concern about this should contact their MP, contact their local councillors, write to the local papers, bring in their friends, make sure everyone who is against this is doing something about it.
Tim and Marion and breakfast.
So today, Marion's been out talking to people this morning who live along the proposed route through Warwickshire of the proposed new high-speed rail line linking Birmingham and London. Campaigners against the route heading to London today to lobby MPs, and Marion has ended up in Burton Green.
I most certainly have. And as you arrive into Burton Green from Kenilworth, you see that most residents around here have busy downloading their campaign posters from the Action website. Keep Burton Green, that's the banner that's outside Burton Green Village Hall. And at the moment it's a very frosty morning here in Burton Green. Everything shimmers with the frosting from the ice. Anyway, as we go into the Village Hall, there's a campaign notice board all set up with all the information about the proposals for this high-speed rail. It's interesting really because the Village Hall is home to, I guess, what you'd call David Cameron's big society. In the hall now, this is where all the dancing takes place, all the village events, mums and toddlers groups, all that kind of thing. And if you go out the fire door into the back garden area, this is where the train will run past. Now joining me out here is Diane swindells. Good morning, Diane.
Good morning.
Also we've got John Levett. Good morning, John.
Yeah, good morning.
Also Ian Cox as well. Good morning.
Morning.
And Jerry Marshall, morning to you all. First of all, Diane, very much part of the big society, this Village Hall. What would happen if the train was to come past here? And I say train, the high-speed rail, I mean.
Well, we're pretty sure that we are the only community building in Warwickshire that's going to be knocked down by the eventual
You're
arrival.
pretty certain that would happen?
Well, we're fighting very hard here in Burton Green, and the Village Hall is definitely a centre for rallying all the local community against HS2.
And very much a case of supporting each other around here. There's campaign posters everywhere. John, good morning. Now, the line itself will go very close to your home.
Yeah, that's very true. Yes, the original plan, actually, the green line showing the edge of earthworks went right through our lounge. They've recently done some minor changes to the route, which would entail putting the railway in a cut-and-cover tunnel, which would go just by the side of our house, so we're not quite sure whether we're going to end up just immediately next to it, or whether our house will disappear.
Either way, your life is going to change dramatically.
Oh, it certainly would, yes, but at the moment we're aiming to show that the whole idea is a bad idea, both environmentally and financially.
OK, let's speak with Jerry. Jerry, you're chair of the local action group around here.
That's right.
What's the problem then?
The problem is, as John says, it makes no economic sense and no environmental sense. You know, the Prime Minister thinks that cutting 20 minutes off the journey time to Leeds is going to transform the economic and social geography of Britain. Well, it isn't. I travel regularly to London and I use my time very effectively on the train. I sometimes go Chiltern Line, although it's longer, because time doesn't make a great deal of difference. Speed is very expensive, first of all. This is going to cost us £1,000 per household, and it's not green. It will increase CO2 emissions, it makes no sense in terms of business travel. It makes no sense economically, and there's HS2 Limited have distorted the economic case of it.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean is that they've assumed that passenger demand is 3 times more than Network Rail say it's going to be. They've assumed there are no financial costs, cost of finance. They've assumed that there are no operator profits. They've assumed that business time on trains is completely wasted. So they come out with a net benefit ratio. It's a technical term that means basically that you get £2 of benefit for every £1 you spend. We've redone that with Treasury methodology and with realistic forecasts. We've calculated that the net benefit ratio is 0.28, 28 pence of benefit for every £1 you spend. That means that the £1,000 that you, Mariam, your household are paying for this railway, £720 is going to just go up in smoke. They might as well burn it. It's completely wasted. So there is no economic sense to this line. It's nuts. It's ludicrous.
All right, let's have a quick chat with Ian. Good morning, Ian. You're heading down to London today.
I am indeed, yes.
Now, this passes right the way through your home and garden as well.
It passes the back of my garden, yes.
So what's the main thing that you need to get across to MPs today?
Well, as Jerry says, this project ticks all boxes ostensibly for politicians. We are going down to London today to show them that the arguments are not as simple as they think they are.
All right, many thanks for all of you for your time this morning. Tim, it's certainly a story we'll continue to follow here at BBC Coventry and Warwickshire.